The cross in a cage. The reflection for today is based on verses from St Mark's Gospel, chapter 8, verses 34 to 38. So here we are in Lent, and Lent is a time of waiting, a time of sitting with God and exploring what God desires of us. This week we're reflecting on the words of Jesus that ask us to give up our lives, to be willing to share his cross and experience as our own. And I've been pondering what that might mean for us here in the 21st century in the midst of a pandemic. What does it mean if we gaze on the cross of Jesus? To gaze at the cross is to move beyond words, to watch love in action. To gaze at the cross is to see what it means to be vulnerable. To gaze at the cross allows us to visualize the enormous, overpowering, awful vulnerability of love. We gaze at the cross and know God's love for us, and know that it is not the end, that Easter is still to come. To gaze at the cross, we know that because of Jesus' promise, and with his love and with the power of his Spirit, we can allow ourselves the vulnerability of loving others. Some years ago, I wrote a prayer poem for a friend who was struggling with physical disabilities. I called it The Cross in a Cage, and I'd like to share it with you now. The cross in a cage, trapped by my pity, my anger, my rage. Why is this happening to me? Why don't they all understand? Why can't they see what it's doing to me? But I am a Christian. I must be strong. I must fight for the right to be free. I will see the victory. But the harder I fight, the stronger the bars. I am trapped. Remember Gethsemane, Christ's word in his agony. Thy will, not mine, be done. I must trust in my God and understand how it will be, that it is through this cross my cage disappears. This cross of my suffering will be a change to a channel through which God's peace will flow, so that others may know new life, new power, new joy. In their fulfillment will I then know your resurrection, Lord. My cage is still here, but it has grown, it has changed. It has become within and beyond. It is my resurrection. And now a prayer and a blessing. Lord, we marvel at the knowledge of your transforming love. It turns decay into life, a rubbish dump into a place of rest and peace, a piece of barren wood into a symbol of hope. May we carry your cross in our hearts through this day. Your cross be in our eyes and in our looking. Your cross be in our minds and in our thinking. Your cross be in our mouths and in our speaking. Your cross be in our hands and in our working. Amen.